when you bite into a slice of bread, or even better, one of the famous cakes which you ladies are so fond of making, do we ever stop to think how wheat became the first thing that was known to make bread? If you go back over 6,000 years, it was found that wheat seed of a very early form was found in some of the tombs or cases in ancient Egypt, and in China longer still. So what does it represent? What does that tell us? Well, wheat was soon found to be very good to eat, but it changes. I mentioned about wheat seed in Egypt just now. Wherever it's grown, the same kind of wheat changes in its character vastly in whatever area it's grown. For instance, wheat grown in China, wheat grown in Egypt, wheat grown in Germany, wheat grown in the British Isles would take on a completely different look over the years. So all right, we know that wheat was good to eat, but what's all that got to do with corn dollies, and what exactly are they? Well, any form of wheat that is woven into a spiral shape is what is commonly known as a corn dolly. Not much like a doll, is it? I mean, you would be forgiven for thinking that it's nothing like a doll as we know it. But I think you'll probably agree that words and their meanings do change vastly over the decades, and particularly more so over the centuries. So the word dolly doesn't necessarily mean a doll. If you look up the word doll in the dictionary, it'll say something like an image, an idol, doll, idol, because these things were made as an image, if you like, in order to provide a good crop the following year. Nothing whatever to do with, as some people think, procreation of human beings. Or some people like to think so. But nevertheless, the word has changed its meaning, and we recognise it now as being a derivative from the word idol, doll, dolly. And in the old days, anyone who cut down the last sheaf of growing wheat in a field had the honour of transporting it to a place of worship, if you like. It was carried home with much ceremony, probably the first vestiges of what we now call our harvest. So much thought was given to these that they thought that the seed was governed or looked after by the goddess Ares, or Ares, and that is why it was treated with so much ceremonial. Now, over the years, corn dollies have changed completely. There's such a lot of variations. In fact, some of the UK's smallest villages have got their own particular corn dolly. There's one called the Mordiford, which is a beautiful heart-shaped one, and these are sometimes exchanged as tokens of love by young people. This one is known as a traditional neck, and this one was made pretty well all over the country. Still being made, as you can see here. I used to make them until fairly recently, but now I've taught 2 people how to make them. One is so good that you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between what she has made and the ones that I have made. This one is her learning skills are coming on quite a pace, and you can see quite a display of them down the end there. There's horseshoes, there's traditional necks. They tend to lend themselves to various types of decoration, and they can be quite a talking point when they hang in people's houses. In fact, it's said that all the time a corn dolly hangs in the house, you'll never have an empty larder. So if you like to take one of these, I'll be round to tea.